What about now? Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You back. You back.
It was a
I was
simple,
like,
it was a simple fix. I just didn't turn the mic on.
it
Oh my goodness.
happens to the best of us. I've done a whole. I've gotten like a whole like 3 minutes into a monologue with the
Uh,
mic off. So,
that's that's crazy. That's crazy. How Anton says I'm building the plane as I fly it. So this is actually like
yeah. It's okay. It's okay, man.
this is like my first time using the eCam like live. So this is like
Well, yeah. This is my first time interacting with it too. It's so the on the back end, I don't see anything.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and like it's I'm used to StreamYard, and like StreamYard you can like see you see the show from the back end.
Okay.
But on Ecamm it seems like you don't. And
So
that's I was like, "Oh, are we actually on?" So I had to like click over to like the live stream tab. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's my big ass head out there."
yeah. So it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
on.
that's cool. That's cool. So, this
So
is
you
crazy.
have just heads up, you have two hold on, actually let me move forward. Yeah, you've got two countdown timers that are still showing on the screen
Okay, let me get that
that
off.
are there
I
you
can
go.
see
There
it
you go.
now.
There's one's gone.
Yeah, I just took the other one off. So like the whole setup is different. It looks a bit different, and it's just so
Yeah.
different from StreamYard. But the funny thing is, as different as it is, it just seems easier to use. It's just like where everything is. Like it's obviously a totally different platform from
Right,
StreamYard,
right.
but it just seems a little easier to like. I didn't have to figure out how to like certain things. You just they're just there. You just do them. So it's just like figuring out where they are. So basically like waiting for Natasha. I messaged her yesterday. I don't know if she's gonna pop in, but I wanted to just go over just some of the stuff that's happened in the past week and see if you was up for a little chat about some of this,
Oh yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
action.
I was like this last week, yeah, definitely.
Did you see like Tommy Sotomayor on Did you see my videos I posted basically?
I didn't see your videos, but I know what happened, and it's very unfortunate because like those are both the homies, and I was like, you don't want to see one of your homies like just destroying the other homie, and then the other homie doing a WWF clapback. It was wild. It was
Yeah,
wild. I was like, that sums up my thoughts on what Fight Club is, though. I was like, it's chaos, and this is basically it. So
yeah,
now, whenever I have to show somebody who doesn't know, because like you'll talk to people who aren't in YouTube, and they're like, "What's Fight Club?" And I'm like, let me educate you really quick.
it's
Like,
it's brutal.
yeah,
It
yeah,
can be. So yeah. So
yeah,
but it's just one thing that even all of the stuff that Daryl talked and stuff, I didn't care. I just everybody's a character and whatnot. I didn't care too much, but it's just one thing that he said that and obviously they have to give respect to Fatty because Fatty didn't show it, didn't play it. He said
yeah.
something about Tommy's kids that was pretty outrageous. And as far as I'm concerned, I think you actually have the right. If Tommy wanted to, he could go and press charges for it was that egregious what he said.
Oh Lord, I
So
didn't. I had see. So I didn't see that part because like I don't watch those. I don't watch the shows, but like I saw the part that they clipped up, and I'm like,
yeah,
uh,
so
like the part that they clipped up was bad. So like
yeah,
I'm gonna assume that that wasn't great either.
so and then the thing about it is he then like sort of threw it to Aaron and saying that Aaron had said something like, and so he sort of like misinterpreted what Aaron said and thought because of he thought he had the gist of what Aaron said that he can go ahead and say what he said. And Aaron was like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So it just
Yeah.
totally, and then everyone, angry man, everyone was just like, whoa. It just stopped. It just basically stopped. It just like, like, yo, dude, we're cracking jokes. You're angry. You're making, you have a right to respond. But that was yeah, that went to a
Oh
different
jeez.
place. It was
So
good.
oh, so it sounds like it got very dark, like darker than what we saw.
Yes, Yes,
Oh
yes,
Jesus.
yes, yes. Very dark. So I don't even like, I'm not even going to mention it. But if you go back to Fight Club, it's still in the stream, and it's
Oh jeez.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
still yeah. You can actually go and see it and stuff. So and hear what he said. Yeah. So it's pretty bad. So but yeah,
Ugh.
but yeah. I'm I wanted to I was gonna I was gonna play a couple moments of like just in case anybody's watching, like why because basically it was a roast. So it was supposed to be like because Daryl had been saying some stuff because Tommy showed up on Lucky's
Yeah.
platform,
Yep. Yep.
and seems like Daryl has feelings for Lucky, and he didn't like that, so he went in on Tommy, and so Tommy just came up with the Fight Club, like because he called him out. He wanted to go Big Bang versus Little Bang, and Tommy was like, and that was the gist of it. Like Tommy just wanted to clash. Let's go bank accounts. But Daryl took it somewhere else. Daryl wasn't up for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So let me just. If I got the right clip. So this was probably the funniest moment. You've probably seen this, but this was the funniest moment on the for the whole night. Is it gonna play? Is it gonna make that bigger? It's pretty cool. No, it's not this one. So let me just drop that down. That's oh, gotta figure out the right one.
Mm.
I just got Tommy's name on all of them.
Oh God.
So and I'm just wondering if I even put the right one in there. I didn't put the right one in there. So like well we could just like look at so this is one of the play. Is it any audio coming on your side?
Yeah. Not yet. I saw the screen pop up though.
Okay. So let's see. No. I can't hear it.
No. No, it's not. It's not playing through. I can see Tommy moving. You
Yeah.
giving him the pray hands.
Okay. That sucks. So, that engine didn't fire. So basically, so I wanted to play the clip where Tommy says, when he finishes the show. I don't know if you saw it when he finishes the show.
Oh yeah, he's like, well, it's time to go, and yeah, and then he dropped out of the
He
chair.
dropped out of
Yeah,
the chair, so which is by far the funniest moment of the show. So, but among
I think that's one of the funniest moments of Fight Club. Period. To be honest.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and Angry Man summed it up pretty. He summed it up pretty good. He said like because then Dark Lake came on there, and Dark Lake came on there actually crying about you shouldn't be doing this and blah 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 and Angry Man was like what he was saying, Tommy was saying was funny, so we laughed. If Daryl would have came up in the same spirit and cracked jokes and roasted, everyone on the panel agreed they would have laughed. So it was a matter of like you called somebody out, they came out, and then you just couldn't stand up. So that was basically the gist of it. So but yeah, there were some really good moments and stuff. So but yeah, so on to the next thing.
Uh-oh.
We obviously know about Pearly, and Pearly's like
Yep.
Pearly's making, and Anton made a really good point yesterday. She's making everybody rich in these YouTube streets.
That's true, but I mean, my personal thoughts on that, and like I've said this a million times. I said this when she first came out, before she did dealt in the egregiousness of however you want to take that. It's a good business play, but she is a grifter. She is not allowed over on the white manosphere.
Yeah.
She has zero credibility over there. They did not take her money. They did not bring her into their realm because they knew what she was doing, which was blatant grifting.
Mm-hmm.
Get your money, which is fine. But beyond that, this isn't even surprising. Like none of this stuff was offensive to me personally
Yeah.
on some emotional stuff. But like I didn't like her to begin with, and then the fact that she would continue the grift until she spun it off the rails is not surprising to me. But there is a reason that she's in the side of the manosphere that she's in.
Yeah.
And there's also a direct correlation to that. The gatekeepers keepers of our manosphere, what are they doing? Are they getting results? Because when I have these conversations with other men in the black manosphere,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, the first thing I ask everybody, I'm like, so have you read Rational Male this year? Like, well, your talking points are from that book. So you have zero context beyond the talking point. They're
Okay.
basically just like Pearly. It's the same reason that as much as I don't like Donovan Sharp, there's a reason he's on the white side of the manosphere and not in this manosphere.
Okay.
Because he's actually at least attempting to guide men in a direction to where they can get a result. And the black manosphere, from what I've seen, the only person I've seen who's posing any kind of actual solution and not just sitting out here incessantly bitching about women is Sir Hale.
Okay.
He's the only person who's
I need to
challenging people to go be better.
I need to have a look and check out. So, oh, so hell yeah, I follow him on YouTube.
Yeah,
I follow him on
yeah.
YouTube. I mean Instagram as well as YouTube. Yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
he's the only person who's firmly seated in the black manosphere that's not just getting up, talking loud, talking about how women are terrible, and there's like this circle jerk of like if you just come into the black manosphere, you're not going to have results. And like the reason I have a different perspective is because my introduction into red pill or manosphere content period
Mm-hmm.
was the white manosphere.
Yeah,
I also happen to have results. Like, it's crazy how this works. But I think it's a besmirchment and a really telling sign of the clear divergence and the clear intent. And I'm like, if you're just here to get money and we're going to just get the bag, then that's cool. But, like, then I get to say that you're a minstrel show. That all these
definitely.
content creators are minstrels.
Yeah,
Like, and
definitely.
I'm like, cool. That's fine. Put your red lipstick on and dance for me.
Yeah,
Great.
I agree. I agree. I just wanted to like. It's funny. Like there's two things I want to say. One first
Mm-hmm.
thing about the manosphere, and then how it's like everyone's all of a sudden denouncing the manosphere. We
Yeah.
understand there are some people who are some bad characters in the manosphere, and you wanna you know
Mm-hmm.
you know shy away from those people. And then
Yeah.
the other thing is like it's almost like we're outside playing a game of marbles and somebody takes a marble and sticks it in their pocket, like and then you're like, what happened, and then they fess up to you, oh, I took it, and they put it back. So what you do, oh, you put it back, you okay, he apologized, they apologize, I'm sorry, and then you get on with the game. That's what it felt like what Pearly done to me. It didn't feel that egregious. It didn't feel like it felt like she just like done a little something, like we outside
Yeah.
having fun, and she like, okay, she apologized. I'm good now because I've been supporting her from the beginning, like, because it's entertaining. I would say, but it's
Yeah.
entertaining. So you watch it. You see who's going to be on there. Like Asta was like probably was gold. Asta's going to always be gold.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember who Asta is.
Uh,
The girl from Nigeria.
yes. Yes.
Yes. So I mean, like stuff like that is like it's gold. I mean, so but yeah, and I'm So I was like, like MTR, he did this whole thing like, Pearly, you fucked up. I was like, dude, like, it just seemed a bit much. Like,
So the issue is, and it's a difference between Black Americans and then the Africans that live in Europe,
yeah,
is that our upbringing and our interaction with white people is different. And like as a culture, we don't have the same cultural standards that you guys have.
yeah,
So we rock with anybody who says they're friends with us, basically. Like it's a culture that wants to be accepted. It's a culture that still very much so. The reason you hear us talking about white supremacy so much is because most of these black people in America believe that white people are somehow better than them. So,
yeah,
and it's another trope that I don't fall into. But so when somebody comes in and you invite them to the cookout, and then they bring in Clan Rowler Larry, it hits different for
yeah,
us. And so like you're going to get a visceral reaction because like it re-triggers all of that. Oh well, you see, like we can't trust these people, and like I thought we was cool, and like we're not cool, and you're just here for business. The issue was outside of, I'd say, the people who you see it from America that are black that are blatantly defending her,
Mm.
everyone else didn't realize that this was. They're like, oh, I thought, like, somehow in their heads they thought that she gave a shit. And
Yeah,
I've said this from the beginning, like, she doesn't give a shit about anything but money.
definitely.
She doesn't give a shit about men. She made something that's entertaining, but it's basically fresh and fit with zero any, like, I mean, even with fresh and fit in their cesspool, there's at least they do shows regularly throughout the week that are like, hey, build your body, get to the bag. They care. There's something where it's like, hey, better yourself.
Definitely.
If you choose to engage in that content. She doesn't even offer that. So, like, this has always been just about money.
Yeah. That and yeah, you're
And
right. That's what she said
and
from day
so
one.
and so like right. And so, like, when you look, and so from an American standpoint, and the other thing that people leave out is, like, it's not like she's having black Americans on her show. It's all Africans.
All
Like, I mean,
Africans.
technically speaking. So, but the deal is, America is so. This is the thing that I tell people, and this is one of the, like, even with Fuentes when he was on her show, the thing that you could tell is that these people never go anywhere besides this bubble. They've never left this country and been an American.
Mm-hmm.
They've never, and Nick Fuentes has never left this country and been an American either, because he still thinks white people exist, as though when he talks about he doesn't want people mixing races, I'm like, that that means you can't be with nobody but Italians, my guy, because, like, if you go anywhere outside of America, you are not white. You're an American. So
Definitely.
then you're the mix. Stupid. Like, most of these arguments, I'm just like, okay, so you've either never left your block, never left your state, or never left this country.
So
And
that's the weird thing is like what you're saying is that like like people I think that's the main thing, people aren't traveled, so
yeah,
that's the main problem.
well, they just don't understand how stuff works. And, like, the other issue is that's America by design, because as much as, like, they'll say go back to your country, to those of us who are here, they know they can't deal without us. So they
Definitely.
tell us, oh, so the thing that they'll tell you is, oh, you won't get treated better anywhere else. And I'm like, I know for a fact that I get treated better than Africans in Europe because
Yeah.
I'm an American. Like,
Yeah.
I got privilege. I got privilege other places. I was like, you know what other privilege I got? Terrorists are not looking to chop my head off personally because they know my country doesn't respect me. So I also get to leave without the worry of getting snatched up and killed.
Yeah.
Like,
Like the like
and
the
people
Dave
don't
Chappelle joke,
understand that.
like the Dave Chappelle hijacking airplane joke, and the two black
Yeah,
guys and say, and the white folks think that the black guys are going to save them, and all they're saying is that they know that, they're not gonna be used as bargaining chips because they are
right,
seen to have no value. So basically, so
right. Well, and so the my deal with Pearlie, and I was like, I was not calling for those dudes to quit their job that are making more money than they've ever made. I was like, you guys have a different. So, like, I understand why no one on that side of the pond was upset, and the reason the people, I also understand the reason why the people on this side of the pond are upset. But I'm y'all, we put her in position to do this. Like, we got her walked in. And I was like, well, if we're holding Pearlie accountable, then, like, you have to also look at those content creators that are defending her, that set up the double standards. Because literally, when she was on Fight Club, like, they were defending her for saying shit and ushering her through conversations
mm-hmm.
like paid bodyguards. But then they wanted to crucify B. Taylor for saying the
Yeah,
exact same thing that Pearlie said, which was basically like, chicks have a roster. Like, and Pearlie said basically the exact same thing
yeah,
without using the word roster, and, like, they would not let anyone check her on it, nor did they check her. And so I'm like, if you're gonna have these double standards, and everybody tried to make it a race thing, and I was like, the people who were defending her were also the people she was paying. Like, coincidentally,
yeah,
like
definitely.
I'm like, you got the paid bouncers. Like, I don't understand, like, how you don't understand that, like, if someone's putting money in your pocket, you're most likely going to get that person to the result they want no matter what.
Definitely. Yeah, I totally
So,
agree. I
I
totally
mean,
agree.
it's just it's a super, it's really interesting. And, like, it's what you see as a cultural divide where, I mean, if anything, it's like everybody's, like, trying to say that, like, we're this conglomerate, and I'm like, no, we're not. Like, the people
No.
from Europe actually know where the hell they're from. Like, They didn't
Yep.
just like wake up there, like you know, like I'm like we
Yeah.
don't have that same deal over here, and like we want to build a community, but like we continually look we never have more than one leader at a time. Like we always just look to the one guy
Yep.
that's easily toppled. No one wants to be accountable for anything personally, so you go, oh well, you know, Anton and Angry Man and lead attorney brought him in. I mean, you can look at the breakdown that the business is doing on these dudes right now. He's going to town on these hit pieces because he is part of that diaspora that believes that white people are better than us. And
Who's that?
it's his channel's called The Business.
Okay.
He's another manosphere content
Chaotic.
creator. He
Not
he
really.
has this weird, he's like Angry Man and Kevin Samuels had a baby that's a
Oh.
little bit saucy. He talks
Okay.
loud, he got this like saucy voice, like it's weird. And I'm like, I don't know if he's talking loud because he's trying to compensate for the sauciness in his voice or what. But he like just basically like yells into his microphone the whole show.
Okay. I got you.
But
I got you.
he's doing hit pieces on all the, and like honestly, I can't hate on him because he's one of the few people that's actually calling out the people who ushered her in as well as her versus going, this is just Pearlie's issue. And it's like, well, who brought her in the house? She didn't break in here on
Nope.
her own. Like
No.
people were watching her for a reason. She was ushered in with intent and like she got to the bag.
Yep.
And she works hard. Like I'm not going to question her work ethic. The only thing that I've ever said about her is that A, she looks like a wet mop, and B, she's a griffin. And both of those
Yeah.
things are true. Both of
Yeah.
them are true.
That's
So,
what's so sorry to cut you off. That's what's so surprising
no,
to me. It's like she's got the money, and Anton says she doesn't spend the money. I was like, yo, just like you ain't gotta put on the lashes and nails and all of that, but you can, you can just glam up a little bit. You're talking feminine. Just look a little bit. Not so much like a volleyball player. You're coming on looking like you're gonna hit the court.
right, right. No, and I mean, I respect the hustle. I just think it's interesting when they get when people get upset where the default lies in the things that we ask people to do, because like I think that's insane to ask somebody over in Europe who's getting an opportunity to move up because you guys don't have the same opportunities for upward mobility that we do.
Yeah.
And I think it's very egregious to go, hey, bro, me from over here and all the opportunity ever, I'm triggered, so you got to quit your job. Like, I'm not a fan of that. Like, but have you noticed that both sides of this, the defense of Pearlie and the people who are upset, it's both of them are very viscerally emotional responses.
Oh my goodness, that's the other thing. It's just like chaotic on Tuesday. Chaotic was like, like dude. I'm like, dude.
E-Black got on there and cried at her about racism, bro. Like I was never seen something. But like the other thing is, it's like the older, because like I thought after E-Black's display, I thought he was much older than what he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's ridiculous, because like that's like a 55-year-old man who's black responds to crying at a white person about racism, because that's what they had to do.
Yeah.
But the other thing that happens here is like that I don't think you guys have, because like I don't know, like last I heard, people in Europe was down to scrap. Like you guys just got into fights. Like if somebody crosses you and does something cross to you, y'all just scrap about it and just go about your business, and like you're good with it.
Yeah, right? Punch it out, get it over done. Like you think you're tough, well, let's sort it out.
So here in America, you have a whole culture, and the older the American black person is, the worse this is, where they experienced in-your-face racism and couldn't punch it out. So they just had to eat it, right? They just had to take the L, keep it moving for however long they was alive till now, where like you don't face blatant racism. But the issue that you have is if you never got your licks in, you're going to feel some type of way the rest of your life. So like that's the reason you see E-Blacks get up there and you said something racist about the culture. And then they cry. And I'm like, it's because they never got their lick back and like they don't know, they glitch the fuck out and don't know what to do. Because they never, like, the first person I tell people straight up, I'm like, I grew up fighting. Like, it's just what we did
Yeah.
in the neighborhoods that I grew up in. So like when I moved out to the burbs, that was my standard. I was like, if you say something crazy to me, you getting popped. I don't care if I lose. Like we scrapping. Like stuff is happening to you.
Definitely. But I just wanted to touch it. Like,
oh.
I had something I was gonna say, but continue. I'll remember it.
Oh, well, I was saying like the first kid that ever called me the N-word, I beat his ass.
Yeah.
And that's been the standard since I was in middle school. So for me, when somebody says something egregious, I'm like, if you're gonna come over here in arm's reach and get this work, then cool. But like if you're not, then like you're just weak and you're a coward. Like I don't have it doesn't trigger me the same way it triggers a lot of these people because some of these people grew up in households where they were like, oh, you don't talk back to white people. You don't like it's literally ingrained and educated fear of white people. Like if a white person.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's so crazy. Like I remember what I was gonna say because it was on that term of racism. So this is my thing. I wouldn't class what Pearlie said as racism. I would class it as she spoke out of place, or that's all she did was she spoke out of place. And then to speak to your point about like using the N-word, I didn't experience that until after 16 or 17 because I grew up in Bermuda. And like we obviously growing up under the British, the colonizers system and stuff. Yeah. You even the only time I heard the N-word was when I played NWA or or something. And you want to hear something funny? I'm 17 years old, about to go 18. I'm driving my mom's car around in little bitty Bermuda, my little Daihatsu like that she had, and I'm blasting NWA and I'm singing it like just singing it like yeah like I really was like I'm down I'm from Compton. I was really like absorbed. I was walking around sagging my pants because Easy said, why you wear your pants so low? Easy access, babe. I was just doing out of this like and I tell people like if I had been born in America, I probably would be dead now because the music affected me so much. I it was, and I think it was because I wasn't experiencing it. So I think I probably would have been really susceptible. But if you grew up in that neighborhood anyway, I think I was a heavy follower when I was younger. So I was definitely a heavy follower. And let me put Natasha, add. So that's what I did. I put you solo. Let me put you to add, right? See if that changes you. Tasha. I see you, Tasha. Hold on. Add left. I see you. And I'm still the only one that's like out of place. Natasha, looking like you're 22 years old. What's going on?
Bruh.
But having the memory of an 88-year-old, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have so much time this morning. And like so many things are getting done. And then I logged into Discord. I apologize. That's horrible.
So it's all good. So I'm
okay.
building.
I almost slept through this. So
yeah, I'm building the plane as we fly it. So I'm like, as you can see how the screen looks and everything. So I'm still trying to figure out where things go, and So yeah, I'm so you got to bear with me here, but coolio.
On the screen, I don't see anything. It's a black box, and I see the number 2. That's it.
Yeah, you got to go to the live stream to see yourself because there's nothing back there.
So you actually need to move a little bit to the left of your screen, Natasha. Right. Sorry. Right. Yeah, there you go. Almost.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah. Now you look young. You man. So let me stop it. Let me stop playing. All right, we was just talking about recapping like the stuff that happened and stuff, talking about Pearly, talking about Tommy, something about and stuff, and so basically my senses of Pearly is like, people were on the lines of like, she's a racist, I'm like, she didn't say anything racist. I said to Ray, I was like, she just spoke out of turn. She just misspoke. She apologized. I'm good, and that's it for me. I'm like, okay, now let's crack on. Don't do it again, because you got the pass this time. You made a mistake. I understand. You made a mistake. Yes, I know I made a mistake. Okay, well, do your thing. Hi, Pearly. This head good pregame, everybody. Hello. So that's what she does. She makes everybody wave. So, but yeah.
I've never seen an episode of her show before, so all I know of her is what I've seen in the few reviews on the channels that we tend to frequent, all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't like a here or there kind of opinion on her. What I did kind of notice, based on what I do know, is that much like most YouTubers that get big, so 1 million plus subscribers, at some point you're going to have an apology video, right? It's almost like de rigueur. You have to make a mistake and then have an apology video. And so she did all the template kind of thing to the apologies. She was in a different set, right? Because usually she's with a bunch of people, right, in a group. But here she was out of her studio, sitting down, being really comfortable. She talked about her coffee. Oh, no, you guys don't really want to know about my coffee. Like, I'm not saying they're actors, right? But, like, there is a character arc. That was the term that I used in a post. There's a character arc. This is part of the apology. People are going to forget about it. I give it a good 3 weeks, and then she's going to continue on her trajectory. You know what I mean? So
I think so as well.
Part of the
she's that snowball is already rolling down the hill. It's if you get in the way of it, you might disappear. No one might never see you again. So, but but that's that bit. So so that was about it, and we just talked about Tommy, and then I mentioned to Ray that there's a part of Fight Club which no one is showing and no one needs to show. Daryl just basically, he just went way too far. I don't know if you saw it, but he said something about Tommy's daughters basically, and what he said was just like, the whole panel just like, just everyone just sat up and just like, wait, and then he was trying to justify it, and it just basically stopped the show. So and as far as I'm concerned, if I was Tommy, I don't care. I think he needs to be held accountable for that, and I would have called the police, because what he said, you can actually call the police for it. So, and that's just as my opinion.
There's Fight Club, and it started out as a place to have like intellectual debates on a range of topics, including finance, right? So finance, philosophy. Has been really great at leading a lot of these conversations. Recently, from what I've heard, because I'm not as much in Fight Club, because they don't have as many of the finance kind of topics that I'm interested in, it tends to be like really risque topics, like right on the edge of appropriateness, right? Which keeps the audience engaged, I'm sure. So, like that whole idea about having a character arc and the mandatory apology video, like keeping people interested and engaged. I don't think it's as easy as people think it is, right? When you're running a panel 3 nights a week, back to back, 12 hours practically.
12 hours. Wow.
So the conversations have been, like I said, very close to risque, if not totally risque. So I can see where some people on the panel would have kind of jumped over the entire cliff kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. So, and even when Fetty was like showing it back, he didn't show that part because guys were saying like, and Fetty, because I was actually on the panel, and my name on the show was the unnamed witness.
So, that was you?
Are you?
Man.
So like, and then so the guys were like saying, yo, play it. I was like, no, that was too far. And then Fatty was like saying I was told not to play, and I said, Fatty, don't play it, and then they just left it at that. So, but yeah. So, but before we carry on, just wanted to say, We're what 40 minutes in, 50 minutes in, so we started at 15 minutes past. So we're probably gonna go another 20 minutes. And Ray, I want to throw it to you for the last 10 to 15 minutes, and then even to you, Natasha, because I want to, this is you guys' thing, like finance. I want to talk about what you do and talk about finance. So I just want to try to,
Oh, that.
like sort of make Fridays where like we recap stuff and then give some informative stuff like towards the end, a little bit of positive note. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I had thought of? No. Okay. So yeah, we got a few minutes, so we can jump on into that. So this is Rackless Ray. If he wants to give his government name out, and if he doesn't, who cares? But this is the crypto, the finance, the stock marketing man, and he's just like, I'll let Ray take it away.
So yeah, I've been doing crypto for a decade. It's fun for me. It's very stressful for other people. I like it. I also am part owner of a business in home automation. We do cool techie stuff in really expensive houses. It's the creme de la creme of American privilege is the field that my business is in. There's that. There's the crypto stuff. I have on my channel, we do future financial strategies. I have two separate playlists, one where I'm building out a portfolio, and the other one, we are currently on a journey into a private banking relationship. And I'm doing it the slower way because I don't want to cash my crypto out to just have it done, because that's not fun. And no one learns anything from that. So we're doing it the hard way, and kind of pseudo getting it out the mud.
Okay. So question, I've heard, obviously you hear the horror stories, so basically because I'm not in crypto, I'm like, man, I've been getting hit up by people on Instagram, like you should do this, and like people trying to get you to invest and stuff. But then I hear people talking about how, oh, this isn't worth this, and I had this, and this is gone. So it's like, it's one thing I hear you talking about crypto, and then I see another thing where people are talking about there's no money in it, it's not worth it. So it's really, I just no, I wouldn't even know where to start, basically.
I mean, I tell people very boring things, which is buy Bitcoin and buy Ethereum. That's the only two coins I suggest anyone buys. Like, I buy other stuff and it's tracked in my portfolio, but the reality of it is I have over one Bitcoin already. And most of my stuff, the way that I build my stuff out, I am stacking a lot of Ethereum because I have a goal of having 32 Ethereum. Beyond those two, everything else is speculation, in my opinion. But what you're seeing is, from a global macroeconomic standpoint, countries are trying to move out of the dollar. Countries are utilizing Bitcoin. Countries are issuing Bitcoin as being allowed as national currency. So for me, when I look at it and I go, this isn't me going, oh, a bunch of people are doing this. I'm like, oh, this is getting indoctrinated into government systems. Oh, businesses are buying this. Oh, rich people are, or anytime a wealthy person tells you not to do something and then you find out years later that they've been doing it the whole time, my ears perk up. I'm like, maybe I need to be doing that. They're telling me not to do this, but they just don't have control over it. So, and then there's the wilder stuff, the more speculative tokens where you probably will and most likely will lose money if your timing's not right. But those aren't my suggestions. On average, if you look at Bitcoin's price chart from its existence, it's averaged 200% gains every year across the board from the time that it started to now.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. That's no-brain money. It's like, okay, I do this very boring thing, and on average, it's 200% a year, and you just hold it. It's kind of easy.
So what about the
oh, go ahead.
What about the staying on that line? So that made me, I don't know what made me think of it, like NFCs and stuff. So like people are buying these things up, or people are so I haven't heard much talk about that lately. Because I look, Snoop Dogg's buying something and whatever's worth $1 million this, $1 million that. I'm like, do you know anything about that side of the market as well? Is that any value in that?
Super speculative. It's very speculative. It's degenerative gambling on steroids, basically. Like
Okay.
I've got. So for as an example, like I did a little test in the NFT marketplace, and I went through, did my little bit of research, and I got into about 8 projects, right?
Yeah.
And fortunately, one of those projects paid for the other 7. So
Okay.
like I'm technically up, but it was like all these things went, and like you're watching these things dud out as you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just continuing to put money in the slot machine and hoping something hits. And I got lucky and something hit. But in the sense of like, is it something that I would recommend to people? I'm like, if you like the art and
Yeah.
want a digital copy of it, yes.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm like, it's so speculative, and like it's so hard to find legitimate or good alpha in that space, because like those projects, they'll sell their little NFT and then just straight up disappear.
Because my
Like
thing is how, like, like basically, like how is the value occurred and all of that stuff. Because my brother's an artist and
right.
he does a lot of stuff, so I'm thinking like maybe he could get into that. But I'm just like, I'm not dumb blonde right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
There's 2 ways. One is the utility of the NFT. So like if it does something else. So like for instance, if you are a celebrity artist, one play that you could do that would work would be if you have a big following, you could issue NFTs that people could then cash back into you for
Yeah.
commissions. You could do something like that. You could do access to, like, technically speaking, like what Anton Daniel does with the bag chasers, because we're all bag chasers.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done the access to that, could have been granted via an NFT. You could do that too, where it's like you have this pass and it's like this gets you into stuff. This gets you access to this, which initially when it started out, like the reason Bored Ape Yacht Club is what it is because that was the first NFT project that the NFT had an additional utility of. They had a special back channel, which was like, hey, we're all investing in this. We're going to blow this project up. So that's the reason those dudes are all rich. And like everybody wants to be a part of that group, because that back channel is one of the only places that has legitimate alpha in the NFT space.
So is it a good long-term investment, or is it something just for the moment?
It depends. It depends on the project. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club is still running strong.
Okay.
Like there's projects that are still running strong, but I think the majority of the utility when it starts catching on is going to be in the gaming space. I think it's mostly going to be in the gaming space first, because technically speaking, you can do an NFT for a real estate transaction, where it's like an NFT of the actual property, and you can fractionalize that so that people could go in to buy pieces of a property project, kind of like a GoFundMe or a Fundrise, but it's in the cryptocurrency space.
Okay, cool.
You could do that too. But I think gaming has the biggest, most readily available use case, because we already buy stuff in games. Like you buy skins for your character. Now imagine you could take that skin that you bought that you like a lot and take it to other games with you. Like now your car's wrapped in it. Or now when you go and you're in this other game, now you could be like, cool, well, I have a battle skin, but now it's the same color of the skin that was in the fantasy game that I played, and like it translates over.
Yeah,
Stuff
I can
like
see
that.
I can see that. So where would I rank when I was doing games? I only played one game, and that was Formula One on PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
I literally would play that for 8 hours. I would do the whole weekend in one day. I do the practice. I do do Q1, Q2, Q3, Q2, Q1, and then race. Got to the point where I was racing without damage, but this was pre-internet. You you have damage on and damage off. So if someone touches your wing, you had to pit, and then it got to the next level where I was racing without damage, and then whatever weather they threw at me. So you had to, I really, dude, I had my thumbs were taped up because you still had the small.
Oh my god,
the small thing. So I didn't have a steering wheel, so my thumbs were taped because they were so sore. And it was crazy because I had a girlfriend at the time, and she it was weird. She didn't even say anything. She just like let me there, just like dude.
Oh my god! Just happened to be in the room.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So, would you consider me like would I be able to get in today's gaming world? Because because everything seems like it's fighting and stuff, fighting games or whatnot.
It depends. So, like, I was an avid League of Legends player. Like, for a little while there, I was thinking about doing competitive or pro play. But it was just it ate up too much time.
Yeah.
But I will say that game specifically, learning how to play that game to play it ranked takes a year.
Okay.
Like you're investing a year into like figuring out the mechanics and how the game works.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Call of Duty's kind of like a pickup. It's mostly shooters. There's still people. I mean, there's competitive leagues for Formula, like the racing games too.
Yeah.
So it really depends, because like with shooters, you can pick that up, and as long as you have like quick reaction, you're gonna be decent.
Man.
But like some of the other games, like the more intricate ones, like the League of Legends, the MOBA style games, the learning curve on those, like you gotta really want to play it, and then like you really gotta want to play it for a long time to get good at it.
Man, I so wish that internet was around. Well, I think internet was around, but like I wasn't into the gaming culture like that. But if I had gotten into, I probably would have been ranked, and I probably that's all I would have been doing today, because it was pretty obsessive. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But sorry, Natasha's been sitting there quietly enjoying our conversation, and thank you for gracing our presence and bringing some beautification to the whole platform. And
I was like, how the hell does she wake up like this? It's ridiculous. Like, it's like, I hate you, bro. Like,
it's the color. It makes everything pop. I was listening to the gaming thing though. I made a wrong play when it came to NFTs. To your point, gaming absolutely makes a lot more sense. My call was like, oh, I think video streaming, it's going to move from YouTube to, at the point where I bought my NFT, it was based on the Theta network, and they've got this thing called Theta. So I got two NFTs almost by accident because I pressed the buy button twice accidentally. So I have a very dying on the Theta network, Theta drop network. But yeah, I keep it simple. BTC, ETH. My new goal is now 32 ETH. I thought you told me, because I've got a whole board with all of my finance plays. 4 to 8 ETH. I now have to like do multiples.
Yes,
I'm
there
gonna
you
increase
go.
it now. Maybe not 32, but yeah, I'll definitely try for more ETH at this point.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I keep it simple otherwise.
That it's funny. You say you keep it simple, and I'm like sitting there trying to EFT or forward. I'm trying to like, I'm like, I totally have no idea. So I'm definitely gonna go and look. Okay, I'm gonna go look it up.
Yeah. So
afterwards.
Ethereum is Bitcoin, BTC, Theta. I don't even remember what Theta is, but Theta drop is where you can get the NFTs. But I don't do much of the other stuff. Like I only do staking with my ETH, and I probably even should seek out like a network where I can stake a bit better, because I've got a very low staking rate. But again, I'm keeping it simple. I don't try to be too complicated. I just kind of DCA dollar cost averaging and hope for the best.
Definitely.
The asset mix,
We are at how much? It started. Doesn't say start. Oh, 1 hour ago. So probably got about another 10 minutes left, because we started 15 minutes past the hour. Yeah, so about 10 minutes left. But yeah, so like anything else like in YouTube, so like this week. It's funny. I was listening to Chicky Banter yesterday, and he was talking about because the Trigger Mike was talking about a topic about what was it? Narrative, men taking back their narrative, and how do we get it back and all of that stuff, or just at least let the man have a little something. But it seemed like what Cheeky Banter was talking towards sort of was tying into that. He was like playing a video of like the kids in China and their excellence level, And basically, those kids are 12 hours a day. 6 days a week. School is 12 hours a day for 6 days a week. And then he was like breaking down on how, like here, like even in the UK and in America, people have the option of if I feel like it or if it makes me feel good, like we're, and then they wonder why, like there's this big thing, because Kevin Samuels used to say it, other people say like the level of, the reading level of most kids and stuff, and it's just down to like this participation prize type effort, like where, and he was saying that, oh, I know, they was talking about competing. That's where the relation was, competing.
Yeah.
And where it's almost like it's being shunned if you go into a room with a group of kids and say, okay, whoever wants the snack or the treats at the end of lunch, you have to, the person with the best grades, or who I don't know, climbed the climbing wall the fastest, or so, and then parents are getting mad because little Timmy went and just blew everybody away, and everyone else was like, they didn't do it, so everyone else has got to get something, like, and it was along those lines, and so basically, what I'm getting at is, like, what do you guys think about, like, compared to, like, what China's doing as to what US and Canada is doing as far as students are concerned, like, and education.
I think specifically, this is talking specifically to the U.S., is we are, as far as men are concerned, we are indoctrinating our men and raising them as defective females. Mm-hmm. And that we're raising them to not compete. We're raising them to sit in their emotions. We are raising them to be more feminine. We are raising them to be weak. With that said, in America, we think we have this bubble because we have an ocean buffer. Like, we have a big ocean wall. So normally drama doesn't come here unless it's drama that we're self-inflicting on amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about, it's not that we don't have to worry, because I think when whatever agenda is getting played out that are making men the way that they are now, it comes to fruition, we will have to worry about seeing war on this soil. But at present, we don't see that. So, like, and we have this society where we want everyone to feel included and like they're a winner. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, if I'm doing what you're not and I have results that you don't, I'm not looking at you as though we are equals, because we are not.
Yeah.
And that's just across the board with anybody. I'm like, we're not the same. Like, I'm doing stuff you're not doing. Like, I went and did my event last night, crashed out, woke up this morning, I'm doing this. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go get in the gym for about 3-4 hours. Like, yep. I'm not going to sit there and look at somebody who does not have the level of dedication, and then I'm going to come back home and get to work. Like, I'm not looking at you like you're the same. And, like, it's just fine. Like, that's fine. The issue that Americans have is they want all the rewards of the people who work hard without doing the work. And then they want to be acknowledged by the people who work hard without doing the work. And I'm like, I don't have to acknowledge you. Like, I don't have to acknowledge your level of mediocrity, because it's not acceptable in my house.
Yep. And they try to cancel you if you don't acknowledge them.
100%. And the thing is, regardless of what anybody wants to say globally, even if we weren't competing here, globally we are competing. So, like, what good are you as a man on this planet? And, like, and I learned my work ethic from ingraining myself with the immigrant populace here every opportunity that I got. And just watching how they navigate and being like, oh, my family doesn't do that, I'm going to start doing that. Oh, when you want something, you do this. Oh, you're working 3 jobs? Really?
Yep.
Okay, like, I need to start rethinking how I'm navigating, bro. Like,
definitely.
Because you got me feeling some type of way in my soul about this, and, like, I want stuff too. So, like, if I can't get it working one job, then, like, I'm going to have to expand this out and use up all the hours, and then I'll start worrying about passive income.
Definitely.
Like,
what about you, Tasha? How do you feel about, like, this competing and the narrative? What's been
So from a woman's perspective, I have the luxury of not believing in competition, right? I had this conversation, I think both of you were there at the time, in the Discord that we're in. I said I believe more in co-opetition or cooperation, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's the luxury that I have because gentlemen are out there doing the work. To that point, I do have a son, now 18, just turned 18 like 2 months ago. His world is totally different. And his
Mm-hmm.
father and I were really intentional about making sure that he understood, world structure and all of that sort of stuff. So he started high school in an all boys private school, spent a year, if not two there. Like he's still in private school, it's just from private school. But I thought starting out in a boys private school was really important to have that structure be amongst his peers, but also taught predominantly by men as well, because the teachers in that school also men, intentionally. So I think that kind of structure, if you can give your sons access to that, I think it's very beneficial, especially in today's kind of culture and society, the way it's set up.
Definitely. It's funny. It's funny you talk about. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Mm.
Okay. You
Uh-oh.
know why? You know what happened? I was looking at I changed my iPad over there, and I'm just watching this. I'm like, why is Natasha still talking? And obviously, because I'm watching the delayed reaction and stuff. So
All the time.
yeah. But it's funny, like, because I
What you were
had
gonna say?
I had this issue with my kids when they were young. I might have told you this already, that when it was my daughter's birthday, and so like you went to go get presents and stuff, and then they were giving out presents and everything, and then their mom was like, "Why didn't you get something for our son?" I'm like, "It's not his birthday, but he's gonna feel left out." I was like, "So what?" And her and her mother, which is the reason why we ended up going our separate ways, like because she's still married to her mother. But we like had a drag down argument about, like, and then she actually sent her brother out to get something for my son.
Oh, jeez.
While the party was going on and stuff. I'm like, I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm like, and all I'm thinking about is as a cyclist, competing, if I finish last or if I finish fifth, I'm not getting on the podium. I can't go to the guy and say, I actually did more miles than that guy did last weekend. Yeah, we did a hill that was steeper, and it's like, they're like, so what? You didn't win. The prize money and the trophy goes to him because he won or they won. So, and it's just like, and it's now like my son, man, like when we was talking about earlier, Ray, about like what you mentioned earlier about like the weak male, that is my son. That is, I called one time from California because he had done something wrong. So I called to scold him, and he started crying with just like I elevated my tone, and he started crying. I'm like saying to myself, dude, why are you crying? I'm like, I just couldn't get over it because I didn't cry until that belt like caught my legs or my backside. That's when I started crying. I wasn't crying. I'm like, no one's done nothing to you. No one's touched you. You've never been disciplined physically. But he did as he's told because I implemented that from the beginning. Like, discipline was important.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. He's soft. He's taller than me, man. I'm 6'3". He's taller than me, but he's soft.
Oh, wow.
So, and then most modern women are, but he's got emotions, he's in touch with his emotions. I'm like, yeah, we'll see how that works out,
Facts.
So.
You're going to get sick of it. They're going to get sick of it real quick.
So, we'll see how that works out. What do you think, Natasha? You think I'm a bit over the top? Your face is stoic. You're just like...
No, I mean, I think everyone has emotions. The way, a woman will express them versus the way a gentleman is going to express them is totally different. To that point, I wonder if he's involved in any physical activity like a martial art, because you can literally release, that emotion, those emotions physically, right? In a safe kind of environment, a structured kind of environment.
He did martial arts, and he did quite well at it.
Think, I'm sorry?
He did martial arts and did quite well at it as well.
Okay. Past tense. He's not doing it anymore.
No, he's not doing it anymore. Probably the last maybe 3 or 4 years.
Perhaps
So
another outlet that he can
Yeah.
channel that energy
yeah,
into.
it's weird to me. So I still love him. He doesn't see me as he doesn't see me as someone that like should as a like the importance of being a father or having a father. He doesn't see me. He just knows I'm his, as far as I'm concerned right now. I'm just his biological father right now. So that's where we're at right now. So it's and the thing is I'm not mad. I'm not angry at him because I know where it came from. I know where he learned it from. And I'm just like, he's going to get older. He's going to grow. And he's either going to grow away. And I just hope he doesn't grow into trouble. He's very smart.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent. But I'm just like, so. And I think it got hard for him about maybe a year or two ago. Because here in the UK, you have a lot of little gang thing. Guys running around with the knives stabbing one another. They don't do guns over here. They do knives. And he was dressing the same way as them. And I was like, I said, what does he look like? And we call him roadman. So I'm like, he looks like a roadman. I said, look at how you're dressed. You got the braids, you got your black hoodie on, you got the black tracksuit, and you're wearing the gloves, the black gloves that they like to wear, like baseball gloves, like type baseball gloves. Your braids are getting an afro because you're not taking care of them. You look rough, brother. If I was a cop, I'd stop you and like, where you going? What you doing? Look how tall you are. You're 6'5", dude. You're bigger than me. People are gonna, they're not gonna look. I know you're meek and I know you're mild, but when people see you, they don't see that. They see this 6'5" guy coming, who's got a duck to get on the bus under the door, and you gotta. And the funny thing is, after I got on him, my daughter actually reported back and said that he changed up his wardrobe. He's dressing better. So he heard me, but he's not like look, he doesn't want to acknowledge so he hears he heard what I had to say, which is good. And cause he's studying to be in architecture and stuff. So I was like, dude, you can't go into those circles dressed like that. You got to dress now for what you want to be. I made mistakes. I'm where I'm at because I made mistakes and I didn't want to listen. You are not going to be where I'm at and doing what I'm doing. You are going to do better. You're going to surpass me. When you get to my age, you're going to be retired or some philanthropist and, sponsoring all types of things because you're going to be so well off. So I was like, you are, I will come back from my grave if you are where I am at right now in your life. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll come back and I just grab you by the neck and like, straighten up, So, but he's a good kid, but he's just like, whatever. I'm not getting stressed by it. So I'm just like trying not to anyway. So that's what's up with that.
I think that's par for the course for the age. Yeah. I didn't like anybody when I was a teenager. Who was an adult, like especially not one that was related to me. Like not happening. Like
that's cool. So it's 2:20. We've gone 5 minutes over, and I guess that's about it. You wanna any parting words to the bag chasers? Because I'm gonna download this and just like reload it up and stuff. And so you wanna say, because this is Natasha, people. If you're under Anton Daniels and the Millionaire Morning Show or anything like that to do with that, the bag chasers or anything, like she tries to play it down, but this is an amazing woman. I sent her my website and I had all types of typos and pictures in the wrong place. And Natasha was like, put this here, put that there, fix this, fix that. And normally when you seek those services, someone comes like, this is going to cost you this. Bring that money. Natasha just did it. I mean, and I just like, people that see it and stuff, it's just like, it's the bomb. And all along the way, I talked to her about like what I'm doing and my plans and stuff. So it's pretty amazing. So like, but I'm yeah, I know. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let Natasha speak a little quick and just who she is and what she does, and then Ray, and then we'll end the show.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a bag chaser living in Canada and enjoying the cold right now. Nothing much happening up here, but I do enjoy spending a lot of time, not only with yourself as a bag chaser, Ray, we chat as well. It's just a really great network of people. So it's my pleasure to be of assistance or support or refer folks in the network, like deeper into the network if I can. Yeah, it's a really dynamic group of people. So, like I said, it's my pleasure. I have fun doing it and having fun with conversations like these as well. But I'm sorry I was late this morning, to the point of having a calendar and keeping to calendar, right? I didn't look at my calendar this morning. So thank you for being gracious with my tardiness. It won't happen again.
It's all good. Thank you.
And
Thank
Ray?
you. Thank you.
Yeah. You can find me everywhere pretty much at Reckless Ray De Niro. I would say it's Friday. Do not fumble the bag. That's my own. Don't go into this weekend just fumbling bags, people. We gotta do better. It's kind of important that you do better at this point. So I'm gonna leave it on that.
Okay, I gotta think of a title. What's a good title to put? I need to put something like witty and catchy on the title, or something that will, like, you know, Natasha said what, like, or something.
What?
You
I
wouldn't
won't say anything dramatic or inflammatory, so I don't know.
You wouldn't believe what Natasha did.
Whoa. She wore orange. That's the most dramatic I'm going to get today. She wore orange.
I know why they call him Reckless.
There you go. That works. You know, we bought really bad NFTs a year or two ago, and now look at us, kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna say thank you, and our whole two viewers. So I don't know if you guys will be up for this, like, on Fridays, and then basically what I would do is I would try to make a little thumbnail before Friday, and just, you know, shoot some stuff to you to talk about. I want to do like an hour, maybe, like, in the beginning, just talk about maybe some, you know, not so important stuff. And then, like, always towards the end, like, you know, talk a bit of finance and stuff, and just, like, you know, touch on a few things here and there and stuff. So, but yeah, and just, like, keep it nice and short, and, you know, succinct and to the point. So, yeah, and it's helping me with my, you know, talking and flowing. I feel like it's getting better. My speed is getting better.
Oh, definitely.
There's less ums and ums when I'm speaking, which is cool, you know, which is important. So. But anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. I have no outro music because I suck. So, so hopefully, you know, in times come, if this, you know, if we get it going, I definitely make a little intro and outro for it. So, but that's if you guys are up to it, and I keep it going. So,
all right. Well, till next week.
Until next week. Let me see. I'm gonna.
Thank you.
Can you hear the music?
Yes.
Start dancing. I'm just playing. And if you're wondering, anyone listening, this is Nafix. So if you need music for your, let me stop it. If you need music for your streams or anything, Nafix has about, it's his name is Neffex, and he has a YouTube channel, and all his music is copyright free. And he has literally thousands of instrumentals and tunes that you can use and stuff. So that's what you'll hear. That's what I use for my music and my videos and stuff. So, but yeah, so Nafix, I mean, the guy is talented. You know, I can rock out to him quite easily. So, but that's Nafix. There you go. That's him. He's dope. He's super dope. So he has a whole channel of instrumentals, literally hundreds of them. And then he has, like, vocals as well. So, but yeah. Anyway, Tasha, I will see you on the Millionaire Morning Show in the chat, killing them in the mods. So I don't know how you do it. So keep up reading and listening. I'm
Well,
trying to
today
listen
I
and read.
I've got a meeting. Yeah, I've got a meeting when he starts, but I'll be there a little bit afterwards. Once my meeting is done, I'll jump in.
Okay. Alrighty. Thanks, guys. I will speak to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Gotta find a picture.